SKDJ 1968. So that's how you find it on Twitch. Look, things are a little bit harem-scarum. SKDJ 1968. Oh, we've got to turn that audio off. So that's how you find it on Twitch. Look, things are a little bit harem-scarum. The speaker. SKDJ 1968. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's all right. Hey, speaking of crazy, there was a woman in the other room, in my living room, and I want to tell you, this performance artist known as Phoebe Legere is off the charts, wonderful person. So far, though, let's see here. There we go. I should be hearing you now. Are you there?
Hello, Sam.
Oh, beautiful. You are there.
Sam, my name has a soft G. It's Legere.
That's what I thought I said.
Make it softer.
Softer. I will definitely do that.
Such an honor to be here, Sam. It's really thrilling.
With a voice like that, I will definitely take orders.
Oh, Sam.
All right, so here we are on Sam's Jams, and just so the audience knows, I am not allowed to feed audio when it's pre-recorded music, like record company music, because if I do that, then YouTube will immediately take us down. So everything, all the audio you're going to hear is live performed from Sam's Jams living room. And so, Phoebe, first of all, tell us what you're going to be doing tomorrow, and fill us in on that, because you're producing something really nice tomorrow.
Well, Sam, we're so lucky and so blessed to have you with us tomorrow as the Master of Ceremonies at the Festival of New American Art. And that new art is a whole community painting that's going to be done by all the children and all the adults. And in front of the painting will be performers from all over New England, real New England legends that I feel have not had really as much love as they deserve. And I'm talking about our headliner, Andy Pratt, extraordinary virtuoso, a great intellect, and Robin Lane of Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. Her dad wrote, "Everybody loves somebody sometime." And he was the music director for Dean Martin. So she's from a real show business, music, songwriting tradition, and we love that. We love to see songs being carried through families, but she is a major songwriter herself. Her big hit was called When Things Go Wrong, and I think you're going to love her. She goes on at 3 p.m. And then I'm going to play with my band, which is a Cajun-influenced band of rock and blues. And then Andy Pratt goes on at about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you're going to love it. It's all free. And it's in a beautiful place, 45 Hospital Road in Medfield, Mass. It's called the Belforge Art Center, and it's the former Medfield Insane Asylum. And what's so cool about that is that this was the beginning of mental health and treating people with cognitive difference. That means nuts. With kindness and compassion, and giving them healing nature. So there's old growth trees, the Charles River flows gently through the campus, and I hope you'll join us Saturday.
I'm sure, we will. That's tomorrow, and it starts at 2. The music starts at 3. And there's more stuff I want to find out about, and the audience wants to find out about you, Phoebe, because beyond being a great musician and a graphic artist, you're also a teacher and a community organizer. More on that in a while. But you know what I think we ought to do right now is get into some music.
Oh, I love music. Okay.
What a concept.
Okay, I'm going to play a song that I put together. I used as the root of it an 11,000-year-old Abenaki canoe song, a song of greeting. And you're going to hear me singing in Abenaki. It's closely related to Narragansett and Wampanoag that would have been spoken right around here where we're broadcasting from WRIU. So you're going to hear me singing that a little of that old Native American language, which is sort of like, I might describe it as being a kind of like Hebrew. It was given by the Lord, and it is a way of speaking to the Lord, so it has a lot of power. And to this ancient canoe song of greeting, I added some modern blues elements and wrote some of my own words. So here it is. It's a true folk song because it's a combination of things that my ancestors wrote and things that are happening today. It's called Blue Canoe. When the sun melts the river in the spring, and the water is running wild and wide, that's when you'll say, I think I hear her sing. And that's when I'll soon be by your side. I got them blue, blue, blue canoe blues. Blue, blue, blue canoe blues. Blue. I'm so in love with you, baby. I'm so in love with you, baby. When you hear that ice melt, baby, look up. Oh, when you hear that ice break, baby, look up. I'll be coming down the river in my canoe. Oh, when you hear that ice crack, I'll come to you. I got them blue, blue, blue canoe blues. Blue. I'm so in love with you, baby. I'm so in love with you, baby. Ma skin della bin el mi nella mood. El mi si quaclo tabe gilaclo. Chip tukanami hisakwe la guetin. Kue nu de nu kue nu de nu kwe kwe kwe. Wait, that means hello. Blue, 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 canoe blue. I'm so in love with you, baby. I'm so in love with you, baby. I'm so in love with you, baby.
Nice, really nice, beautiful. Phoebe Legere. We don't have a huge audience in the room.
Yeah, they're so nice, though. They're nice folks here.
That was nice. Phoebe, who's playing guitar with you?
This is one of my dearest friends. His name is George Leonard, from the great band Georgie Porgy and the Crybabies. He was just awarded the Rhode Island Hall of Fame Medal of Honor, and he is one of the most creative all-around geniuses that I know, one of the great, great songwriters. I met him on the internet, and he was kind enough to open the door and let me into his life. He's my darling Georgie Porgy.
That's great, and he looks a little modest about it.
And he's playing in Newport. What's your date, Georgie Porgy? Playing July 18th. What's the location?
St. John the Episcopal.
He's performing at the church. That's perfect because he's a man of the Lord.
St. John's Episcopal Church, did he say? Yeah.
St. John's Episcopal Church in Newport.
What date?
July 18th.
This is Sam's Jams on WRIU and also streaming via video, via various services. We've got Phoebe Legere in the studio. Before we get to the next tune, let's do a quick version of your resume. I mean, all the way back to the 17th century. Your family came into Acadia, which is now known as Nova Scotia.
That's right. 1604.
1604.
The first family.
Yeah. And
First family of Canada, the Legeres.
and
Jacques Legere was a drummer.
he was a drummer, huh? What,
Yes.
What kind of he wasn't playing zildjians or anything, was he?
No, he was Louis XIV's favorite drummer, and they had lost several colonies in Canada. The French were trying to colonize Canada. They were the dominant superpower of the world, but everybody kept dying because it was so cold and so rough there. So they figured if they sent somebody who was musical, this Jacques Legere, that he would be able to keep the colony alive with his beats and his rhythm and his groove, and he did. The rest is history.
Well, and then your family, the French side, married into the indigenous folks.
Yes,
and,
yes. I'm on three sides. I have my tribal affiliation is with the Abnaki, but I also have Wampanoag and Mi'kmaq.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, we're going to find out about your community work and your educational work, but let's do another tune now. This is Sam's Jams. We're live from the living room with Phoebe Legere. We'll be live for until about 12:30, and more on tomorrow's performance once again. Phoebe, you got it. Take it away.
I'm going to play a little blues that I wrote, and it's such a nice segue because it's in French. But I think you're going to understand it, because mostly what it says is, I love you so much. I would just want to be with you. It's called the French-Canadian Blues. J'habite la Louisiane, dans le beau bayou. Québec est loin de mon chèque chez nous. Je suis amoureuse d'un pompier de Québec. Il est très sexy, son guitare avec Agatha, funky wonky, French Canadian blue. I got the maple syrup, funky French Canadian blues. Woo! Je dors dans mon camper pour éviter l'hôtel facture. Pour économiser, je mange Tim's beignets. Mais quand j'arrive enfin, mon pompier me prend de la main. Je mange pudding chômeur devant le feu que j'oleur. I got the funky wonky French Canadian blues. I got the maple sugar, funky French Canadian blues. I got the funky wonky French Canadian blues. Oh, I got the sirop d'érable, sticky wicky French Canadian blues. Can you stand another verse in French, people? I'll tell you what it means. It means this. Après une nuit d'amour, je crie encore, encore. Joue encore ton guitare, mon pompier superstar. Puis bien sûr des crêpes au sirop d'érable. Le matin, quel bonheur là. Bonne table, Agatha, funky wonky Canadian blues. Ooh. I got the maple sugar, funk funky French Canadian. I got the maple syrup. Ooh, 3 times, baby, 3 times. I want it 3 times. Ooh, I got the syrup d'érable, a funky French Canadian blue.
There you go. Phoebe Legere there, and French Canadian blues. And since it was largely in French, we don't know if there were any bad words in there. But I don't think the FCC cares. The CRTC might, but not the FCC. We've got on Sam's Jams Live from the living room, we've got Phoebe Legere at this moment. And Phoebe, okay, it's piano time, I think. Yeah, here we go. We're going right to the Heart of Love at some point. Oh, is this Marilyn? What are you going to do now?
Let's do Marilyn.
Okay, tell us about Marilyn.
I was signed to Epic Records, a division of Epic called Nemperor Records, which was run by Nat Weiss. And I presented many songs. They were trying to dumb me down it was quite horrible abuse, actually, up at the record company, that I don't want to make you folks upset, but if you can imagine that somebody who's been in the music business, a girl signed at 15, has seen a lot of things and had to swallow a lot. And so this song I presented, and I said, I think this song's going to be a hit. And they said, that song is never going to be a hit. And in fact, this is the one hit that I've had. It was a bona fide college radio hit, Sam, on Island Records, and it's a song I wrote about a woman. And what they said to me was, you say you kissed a woman in this song, and that's never going to be a hit. And of course, Katy Perry had a huge hit on the same topic, and now everybody is accepting all kinds of diversity and preferences and everything like that. And so this is a song about a real female goddess that exists in our culture. We don't have any goddesses in our dominant religions, but this Marilyn Monroe, ever since she died, she just keeps getting more and more famous. It's quite extraordinary.
Times do change, and actually mostly for the better. You wouldn't know that from the news, but it's true.
It's really true, Sam.
Okay, Phoebe Legere.
And so this is, of course, when the record came out, it was kind of like a dance rock, and you can see it on the YouTube. But I'm going to play it with a freer interpretation. I hope that's all right with you, Sam.
Yeah, it's cleared. You're cleared to do that.
I was swimming with my friend Marilyn Monroe when a wave sucked me into its undertow. I was desperately fighting my way to the top when all of a sudden time stopped. Marilyn Monroe, there beyond the surface, I saw the platinum glow of my friend, the beautiful Marilyn Monroe. I looked into her eyes and I kissed her once or twice. She was still alive and everything was nice. Monroe. No, she must die because she is too good, and it could happen to you. It really, really could. I cried and I cried as they took her away. and they lie about her every day. Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe, Phoebe Legere. It's live from the Sam's Jams living room. Can you believe that? We are live on WRIU Radio and streaming on Twitch, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. And we've got Phoebe Legere here until about 12:30. She'll be performing as well tomorrow with Andy Pratt and with Robin Lane and Robin's new band. Robin Lane's got a great new record out just last summer. All of that at the Bell Forge Art Center in Medfield, Mass. You can go to bellforge.org and get all the lowdown on the show. But things get underway around 2 o'clock. And Robin will be on at 3, and Phoebe probably around 3:30. And then Andy Pratt somewhere around 6. I got great news for you. I mean, I just happen to love accordions. And look at that. The woman is holding an accordion. What do we got, Phoebe? What do we got now?
Yes, here's what we got. Everybody, of course, is interested in romance. And I heard that there was a way of finding my perfect mate by going on the internet. And the algorithm would search through my data and send me the most beautiful, brilliant, music-loving man. And so I went on. This song was originally called Craigslist Disaster. But I then went on the next big dating site, which was called OkCupid. And I got 500 responses in the first 1 minute. I posted a little photograph. And so this is actually, I just wrote the song from what the guy said to me.
It's going to be funny.
True story. I posted a little photograph of myself all dressed in green. I wrote a few words on the profile, and I hoped you were looking for me. I wrote, I want to dance in France, and bike ride to the moon. I want to swim naked in a swimming pool, make love in a hot air balloon. Okay, Cupid, what's the use in waiting? Okay, Cupid, I'll try computer dating. He wrote, I like your eyes, you look fun. I like your smile, I love your tongue. Do you like women or men? Do you want to experiment? Are you religious or spiritual? Are you thin or fat? Are you vegetarian? Do you prefer dogs or cats? I wrote, I want to dance in France, and bike ride to the moon. I want to swim naked in a swimming pool, make love in a hot air balloon. Okay, Cupid, what what's the use in waiting? Okay, Cupid, I'll try computer dating. Come out and shine, the clouds are fine. Spread your wings and glide. We'll be so happy, we'll rise like the moon in the tide. Unzip your loneliness, my dear, come out of your private hell. It's heaven when you're near me, we're so compatible. I said, I want to dance in France, bike ride to the moon. I want to swim naked in a swimming pool, make love in a hot air balloon. Okay, Cupid, what's the use in waiting? Okay, Cupid, I'll try computer dating. And so we made a date to meet for tea and scones. I texted back, yes, 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 yes. On my beautiful new iPhone. And when we finally met, I got a big surprise. It was my next door neighbor, the girl with the big blue eyes. She said, I want to dance in France, and bike ride to the moon. I want to swim naked in a swimming pool, make love in a hot air balloon. Yes! Okay, Cupid, what's the use in waiting? Okay, Cupid, I'll try computer modulate. One more time, St. Ed.
Perfect.
It's a true story.
Okay, Cupid. A true story. Well, there's nothing but truth coming out of you from what I can tell. Speaking of truth, what just fell down? Something just fell down?
Oh, everything's all right.
I see one camera's looking at the ceiling right now. That's okay. We'll deal with it.
What's our next song? That was Ron Gustafson, the chairman of the Medfield Cultural Council, who is my partner in presenting and producing this festival, the Festival of New American Art, tomorrow at 45 Hospital Road in Medfield, Mass.
Bell Forge Art Center. And let's see here. We got Phoebe Legere. We're live on Sam's Jams, live from the living room, no less. And we're going to be going till about 12:30. This is the second in the series of Sam's Jams live from the living room. And, of course, you may remember that the first one was James Montgomery and Gary Gramellini.
Awesome.
And that was about 6 weeks ago. It took me the intervening 6 weeks to fix up some wiring, get better power into the room. But we're back at it. And the hope is that we'll be able to do at least one live from the living room per month. I'm overjoyed that Phoebe Legere is our second one. And I would just ask this before the next tune.
Yes.
A quick summary of your foundation, because you do an awful lot of outreach and educational work and community organizing. Tell us about that.
Oh, thank you so much for asking, Sam. I love to talk about our work with children. In 2008, during the financial crisis, New York City, known to be the cultural capital of the world, eliminated all art and music in the schools, in the public schools. And I was, at that time, running a community center in my house where I would give poetry and music and free performance and show art exhibits. And I heard from the parents that they all wanted their children to study music with me, but that they didn't have any money because I was living in the projects. So I decided to form a foundation, and our mission is to strengthen, educate, and nurture the children of low-income communities, particularly BIPOC communities, and that means Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So I have a chance to watch children grow up and to participate in their creativity. And you know, Sam, they inspire me the way I live in the East Village. I don't know if you folks know where. I live in Maine in the summer, and I live in the East Village in the winter. And the East Village used to be a hotbed of creativity. It was like a real renaissance when I was growing up. And I love to be surrounded by creative people. I love talented people. I love great musicians. I love to share them with the world, and I think you're that way too, Sam.
What's the name of your organization, and how do people find it on the internet?
Oh, thank you, Sam. It's www.foundationfornewamericanart.org, because we're a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 registered New York charity. And we're starting to do outreach in more places, and this is what we're doing in Massachusetts. We are bringing arts to the community, and everything is bilingual. I speak several languages, and Spanish is one of them that I work on very hard because I love those Romance languages. And we bring the arts to everybody. I believe in art, Sam. I think it's important.
Believing in those Romance languages, it's very kind of you to be speaking with us in English today. So, Sam's Jams, live from the living room. WRIU, Kingston, Rhode Island, is the station to which you're listening. Sam's Jams here till 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, it's going to be a 2-hour version of Drew's expansive view of rock and roll. It's his last show, so it's a 2-hour show. That'll be at 2 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, I should say. We're going till 1. And we're going with Phoebe live from the Sam's Jams living room until 12:30, about another half hour. Again, WRIU Kingston. So, Phoebe, what doth thou have next? Up next.
I love that Elizabethan way of talking.
King James, man.
You're totally King James all the way. Yeah. Next, I'm actually, when the music business crashed and burned first, that was sometime in the 90s. We won't talk about what happened. But the forces of evil somehow conspired to...
Wait a second. The same thing happened to radio, by the way.
And it's happening to a lot of other professions. But first it happened to music. And so I got my commercial driver's license because I now had to drive hundreds and hundreds of miles to just make a living, whereas before I could play the piano in any restaurant in New York, and I did. I made a wonderful middle-class living playing jazz piano all over New York City and in Japan. But now I had to drive to where people still cared about live music. And so I thought, well, I'll drive the equipment to the club, and then I'll pick up a load of potatoes, and I'll drive it, and I'd play a lot in Canada, so they have a lot of potatoes there. And so I found myself with my commercial driver's license, the CDL, and I wrote a song about it. I like to drive because when I drive, I can listen to the radio.
This is cool. So this is your answer to Dave Dudley, huh?
My answer, there's a lot of great trucking songs, and here's another one from a girl trucker.
There you go. Phoebe Legere.
I drive a big rig 18-wheeler, gives me time to think, and it makes life realer. I see the sky, the fields, and the river. With God's love, I deliver. I'm driving home, sweet home to the heart of love. I used to work all day at a computer. Now I'm driving through small towns and they couldn't be cuter. I'm bringing food to the girls and boys, driving through the heart of American joys. I'm driving home, sweet home to the heart of love. Going to the heart of love tonight. My heart will tell you what is right. You and I, living in the heart of love. We don't have to be what anybody tells us to be. We'll find our own sweet road to the heart of love. I see your great big little boy smile, shining like sun on a country mile. And our sweet song is playing on the radio. We're riding home, sweet home to the heart of love. We're going to the heart of love tonight. Your heart will tell you what is right. You and I, living in the heart of love. We don't have to be what anybody tells us to be. We'll find our own sweet road to the heart of love. Je vois au loin notre village. C'est la fin de notre voyage. Je ne fais aucune détour. Je reviens au cœur de notre amour. Mon amour, on s'en va au cœur de l'amour. Take it away, George. Will tell you what is right. You and I, living in the heart of love. We don't have to be what anybody tells us to be. We'll find our own sweet road to the heart of love. We'll find our own sweet road to the heart of love. We'll find our own sweet road to the heart of love.
Phoebe Legere, live from the living room of Sam's Jams on the shores of the West Passage of Narragansett Bay, live on WRIU 90.3, commercial free, proud of it. Uh-oh. I think I heard the sound, I think, what was that, the sound of breaking glass. I love the sound of breaking glass. Okay, let's see here. Not to worry about it in there, folks. Whatever it is that fell, we don't cry over spilt milk or anything else. Spilt anything. Nick Lowe. I should
sorry,
play Nick.
Fam. I'll buy you a new vase.
It's all right. You know what
they
they say that there's a certain material that happens, and we say stuff happens because we're on the radio. But we got a recording of that crashing sound and
sample that.
Okay, Phoebe, we're up to, let's see here. I got our song list here. Are you on?
I'm going to play You're Awesome.
You're Awesome. Okay.
I wrote, I like to write multi-character performance art, multidisciplinary shows in which I can explore all of the art forms. And I did a show in which I played Elizabeth I, that great monarch of England, and I proposed that she was the one who wrote all of the plays of Shakespeare. And there's plenty of scholarship that supports my theory. She had a vocabulary of 40,000 words, and she spoke 7 languages, and she was very, very smart. But in the course of that show, I sing a song to the man who was my young lover, Essex. You know, she always had some great, handsome guys. I think you may remember Sam, Sir Walter Raleigh, who made a few trips to your old Virginia home.
Yeah, by the way, sounds like she was almost as smart or as smart as Thomas Jefferson.
Absolutely. I love that you love Thomas Jefferson. July 4th is my birthday, by the way.
I know, but today is Bastille Day. So you don't have you can't play us the La Marseillaise. How do you say the? Here we go. Here you go. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, on this day at the French Revolution, they stormed the Bastille and let all the political prisoners out. And
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Oh yeah.
Rock on. Okay, so let's. It's Sam's Jams live from the living room. Phoebe Legere. Hey, reintroduce your backup musicians.
Yes, I shall. Yeah. You know, Sam. When I was signed to Epic Records, the first thing they did was they cut away. They eliminated my band of friends that I had around me, and they did this to Janis Joplin, and I believe they even did it to Mick Jagger briefly when he was on Epic at the same time I was. But I'm lucky enough to have real friends, not musical mercenaries, but real friends who joined me today and knew how important this was to me because I'm a big Sam Copper fan. I'm here with Ron Gustafson, the chairman of the Medfield Cultural Council. On Foutoir, play a little bit, all right? And George Leonard from the Rhode Island Hall of Fame.
Now, I want to throw in also, because we don't have graphic credits towards the end of Sam's Jams live in the living room these days, so I want to say right now, Peggy Scully is on one camera, Tom Welch is on the other. Tom helps out big time with the video technology, the part of it where you're like, I'm such a troglodyte. And so thanks both to Peggy and to Tom in advance here. And let's roll it along. So what's the next track?
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Tom. Next track is called You're Awesome. You're awesome, awesome, too awesome to be true. There's some kind of magic in you. You're a movie star, you're supreme. You're the sports car of my dreams. Here's looking at you, kid. You're a hybrid luxury Ferrari. I like to drive a stick. I shift so smooth and nice. I touch the clutch in the sweet spot. I like to touch it twice. Because you're awesome, awesome, too awesome to be true. There's some kind of magic in you. I'll take a solo, you mind? Down at the ground, then poop-a-de-oop in the sky. I saw the stars in the universe, told the future for you and I. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba, because you're awesome. You're too awesome to be true. There's some kind of magic going to the end. Listen to this half diminished chord, music students. There's some kind of magic in
Beautiful. You're awesome. And I say it again to you. You're awesome.
You're awesome, Sam.
You know, I
did
try
I
to.
say how much of? Oh, did I cut you off?
No, I was just trying to, explain to people your performance style, and you are a classic performance artist. I mean, and you can't be pigeonholed. As my audience knows, I like hyphens in order to describe an artist's music, and I would say you can go from glam to folk, from rock to country, from jazz to European weird. I mean, it's how do you like that European weird for a description?
I like it. But you forgot one.
What's that?
For Sam, I have a history in radio too, because for 2 years I was the Grand Duchess of the Blues, spinning classic blues at drive time on Sirius Radio.
I didn't know
from 2002 to 2004. It was I loved my job because I just got to hear the greatest blues all day long.
There you go.
So I know how much fun you have, Sam.
Well, by the way, I actually include blues under the term folk because blues is a form of folk music. But then if you want to get really weird, so is rock and roll. So
absolutely. All American music comes from the indigenous people and the people of color who came from West Africa getting together. The Mi'kmaq, who were the Métis travelers of Acadia, who were sent down to Louisiana and had to walk 3,000 miles. These are the Acadians, like the Legeres, as you know. I'm a Cajun. And so the Cajuns got together with the West African slaves at that time, and they had babies, and those babies were the great beginning of blues and jazz players.
Amen. And of course, you had the British Isles music come into the Appalachians.
That's folk, absolutely.
That's right.
Gorgeous.
And that all got together. Okay, so we are Sam's Jams, live from the living room. We have Phoebe Legere in the room, in the building still. What's up next? We're going live for about another 18 minutes till 12:30.
What's up next, boys?
What do we got?
Oh, this is a song that I wrote. I wanted to, George Leonard and I had a gig on Block Island, and we played in a big white hotel all summer. I drove all the way from New York City to go to Block Island every weekend to play. And I wrote a lot of music there because I love Block Island. And so here's one of the songs that I wrote there. I think I need my guitar. Here it is.
Guitar. Okay, guitar time now. Off the piano, over to guitar. And Sam's Jams, live from the living room. A once-a-month feature that is only going to get smoother. Any roughness is on me, but we're live from the living room.
And
Phoebe Legere.
Wait a minute, just Sam. After the glass shattering, I just have to. Okay, we're in tune.
What a beautiful thing.
This is a song about a songwriter who falls in love with somebody who goes off to war. And I just want to say that I spend a lot of time in Maine, and a lot of the industry, a lot of factories have closed down in Maine, and there's no place to work. There's really very little for young men to do. So they join the army, and they go out to the front lines, and some of them don't come back. And there's a kind of a tradition there where I live in Maine, which is the traditional Abenaki soul homeland in the mountains. It's a place of rivers and rushing waterfalls, and I live right next to a beautiful waterfall that has tourmaline. That's a magical kind of rock that the water gushes over. And so the boys in Maine have a tradition of going up and looking out over the mountains as their last view of Maine, and then they hug their mother, and then they go off. And this is about somebody, this is a true story about somebody that I just loved to pieces, and he didn't come back. Can this poor songwriter ever express, or with breaking voice somehow confess, the wonder of love miraculously found, that summer that love turned my life around? After so many years and so many tears, one day the ice melts and summer appears. In the heart of the summer we'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear. Rocked in the sweet arms of summer, rocked in the sweet arms of summer, we'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear. The rain so refreshing turned our t-shirts transparent, and you seemed to find treasure in what was apparent. And as the clouds parted, our love was revealed like a Nantucket rose growing wild in the field, and silver musicians played on the sea. We rocked and we talked and sailed into the lee. In the heart of the summer, we'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear. Rocked in the sweet arms of summer, the sweet arms of summer. We'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear. Then around about Christmas, they told me you died. The tank exploded with 4 good men inside. But if you come back in sunshine or snow, I'll be here waiting, I love you so. And silver musicians still play on the sea. We rock and we talk and sail into the lee. In the heart of the summer, we'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear. Rocked in the sweet arms of summer, in the sweet arms of summer, we'll always be lovers, together forever, my dear.
Beautiful. Phoebe Legere. We're live from the living room here on Sam's Jams. And Phoebe will be in Medfield tomorrow, along with Robin Lane and Andy Pratt at the Belforge Center for the Arts. And Phoebe, a quick note, of course, part of the mission tomorrow is a celebration. By the way, those who are watching on video here, I am simultaneously mixing audio and switching video. So some of the video switching is not exactly network quality, but I'm doing my best. Phoebe, part of tomorrow's mission is a celebration of the life of a woman who was so important to Eastern New England music. Tell us about Justine.
Justine was a dear friend who was a terrific songwriter, a beautiful girl, one of those girls that can just make friends with everybody, that everybody just loves the minute they meet her. And part of her mission was to help other New England musicians. For instance, that record that you mentioned, Dirt Road to Heaven of Robin Lane, was on Justine Cousteau's record label, which is called Red on Red Records, and they continue.
Wait! She's not related to Jacques. That was Cavalt, right? You said
Caveau.
Caveau.
Justine Caveau. And she was just a great girl who loved to help other people and loved talent and loved songs. And when I found out about her, I started to write to her and say, can we support you in any way? What can we do to help you in your mission? And so we were about to go on tour together on the Strong Woman Tour when suddenly she passed away, very young.
Oh, just tragic,
yes.
Totally tragic. That was about a month ago.
Yes,
just
and we're dedicating the festival to her memory.
Justine Cavalt, or Caveau, if you will, and because my American pronunciation, it leaves
very
something.
Good.
You're very kind. Okay, what's next?
Well, here's another song I wrote when we were working on Block Island, and this is called Great Big Whale. A great big whale went out for a sail along the salty sea. He sang a song all day long without a thought of me. I jumped on his whack and I gave him a whack, started out to sea. He waved his flukes and I almost puked when he rolled his eyes at me. A great big whale was he, a great big whale was he. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub, for a great big whale was he. We sailed past Plum, Fisher and Block, and made a course for Nantucket. A sail is a high boy, a whale is a high maintenance pet, and the Sound is a hell of a bucket. His head was big, he was full of big thoughts. From his head to his tail, he was finely wrought. He had a mouth full of teeth and a tummy full of krill. Like the beast that I am, I went in for the kill. A big sperm whale was he, a big sperm whale was he. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub, for a big sperm whale was he. In my purse I carry a silk harpoon, which I carry at all times with me. I drove it into his blubber, and the whale, my lover, cried out in pain to me. Lady, what is wrong with you? I never did you any harm. I'm fabulous, enormous, 10 yards of solid charm. A big whale was he, a great big whale was he. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub, for a great big whale was he. His words were clear and I almost cried to see what I had done. Sadly, I swam back to shore and crawled into bed with my mum. And so, my friends, remember this when you fish in the wine dark sea. Whales have hearts and souls and minds, just like you and me. A great big whale was he, a great big whale was he. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub, for a great big whale was he. And so as I looked over Block Island Sound, I heard him sing to me. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub. Rub-a-dub-dub, it's a lovely tub, for a great big whale like me.
That's great.
You like it?
Yes, yes. Seafaring songs, whaling
exactly.
songs. Right.
It came to me, some songs you sit down, I'm going to write a song about that wonderful person. And other times songs just come through the air. And that just came to me. And so I think I channeled a sperm whale.
Let me ask you this. The artists that you kind of look to, I mean, is Edith Piaf in there?
Huge for me.
Huge, I figured. Huge. Yeah.
And she was the favorite of my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And unlike a lot of people, Sam, I didn't reject the music of my parents. I absolutely loved the music of my parents and tried to understand it and tried to learn it. And I know thousands of those Edith Piaf songs, and I can do whole programs of them. But I was also deeply influenced by the great musicians that you were playing that I heard as a little girl. And when I was 5, I had a much older sister. She was listening to WBCN, and I heard Joni Mitchell and Laura Nyro and Judy Collins.
Laura Nyro. Actually,
Laura Nyro would be probably the biggest influence.
Laura Nyro was the very first live broadcast I did that was distributed to more than one city as we originated it. We did Laura Nyro live from Carnegie Hall, and it covered 4 stations from Washington to Boston. But it gave me a moment I'll never forget, and I tell people about it all the time. During a setup, I went into the center stage of Carnegie Hall, and I sang a chorus of Old Man River, so I can say, I can say that I sung at Carnegie Hall.
Hey, Sam, sing it now. Old Man River. I mean, it's a killer song.
True, but not necessarily by me. Although the acoustics in Carnegie Hall certainly helped out. Oh yes. Man River.
You got it, Sam.
Not gonna
Keep
happen.
going, Sam. Don't come
not
on.
Gonna happen.
Don't stop yourself. You sound too good. Yeah. I love your voice, and I've been lucky enough to play at Carnegie Hall 4 times, and yes, the acoustics are magical.
Truly, when they redid the hall, they had just a whole lot of energy put into making sure they got the acoustics back right. So, Phoebe, we have time for one more tune here. There's more on the list, but we can do more some other time.
Thank you.
But let's do one more, and Then we'll back announce everything and talk about what's happening tomorrow, and it's a beautiful thing. Back announce, that's a radio term. So.
Well, Sam, you know, when I was signed to Epic Records when I was 15 years old. So I was signed during the time when we had a lot of wonderful Italian Americans who were having a lot of influence on the artists and on what was played. And the beautiful thing about BCN was that it was a very pure format. I think you played pretty much what you wanted to, and
True.
That's why it was so good. But I've been lucky enough to, I studied Italian at Vassar, and I'm going to Italy at the end of August. I have a big artist residency in Venice, so I've known a lot of Italians, and I love that Italian culture because it's a culture that's built around song and food and family. And so some people say, Phoebe, what kind of a man do you really like? And I wrote a song about it. One, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Down in little Italy, there lived a boy named Anthony. He has a heart of grease. He's the Romeo of Mulberry Street. He's got a little cannoli like a dream, hard and crunchy and full of cream. If you see a Tony, take my advice. Hold on to your heart, he's terribly nice. Here we go round the mulberry bush. Fast, pussycat, push, push. Oh, take my advice. Hold on to your tush. He's terribly nice. Hey, Tony, listen to me. I need a hot delivery. I need something good to satisfy me. I need a large with pepperoni. Everybody, hot Sicilian pizza boy. Hot Sicilian pizza boy. I need a tomato. I need a joy. I need a hot Sicilian pizza boy. His past is checkered, but so is his tie. Whenever he's around, ladies die. So don't forget to write your will. The funeral home will send your folks the bill. He's adorable, he's masculine. If he rings the bell, should I ask him in? When I see a Tony, I feel so cool. He makes me scream, he makes me drool. His past is checkered. To your tush, he's terribly nice. Hey, Tony, listen to me. I need a hot delivery. I need something good to satisfy me. I need a large with pepperoni. Everybody, hot Sicilian pizza boy. Hot Sicilian pizza boy. I need a tomato. I need a joy. I need a hot Sicilian pizza. One more time. Hot. Hot Sicilian. Let's bar. Yeah. And one more time. All right. Sam, I just want to say it's been such an honor to be here with you. Man, I sure hope we can be friends. I'm here with Ron Gustafson on the washboard. We're going to be tomorrow, Saturday, July 15th at the Medford Insane Asylum. Hot Sicilian pizza boy. Everybody. Hot Sicilian pizza boy. I need a tomato. I need a joy. I need a hot Sicilian pizza boy. Who's that? Come in. Woo! Woo! Woo!
amazing. Wonderful, Phoebe. Thank you so much. At some point, I imagine we'll figure out how to squeeze an audience into the Sam's Jams living room.
They'll love it.
We can have them on chairs outside.
That'd be great.
Outside the window. So, Phoebe, one more time here. Let's credit Mr. Guitar and Mr. Spoons or whatever it is, washboard over there.
Yes, it's Ron Gustafson, the chairman of the Medfield Cultural Council, known for his watercolors and his multidisciplinary activities. And you can meet him tomorrow at the Festival of New American Art. And the great George Leonard, a multidisciplinary genius who will be playing on July 18th in Newport at St. Anne's?
St. John's. I think he said St. John's Episcopal Church.
St. John's Episcopal Church.
Right.
God bless the Episcopalians.
Somebody better. Anyway, let's see. I want to credit on camera Peggy Scully.
Yay, Peggy Scully!
Yeah, there
She's
she
so
is.
cute.
And also Tom Welch.
Oh, Tom. Handsome Tom.
Whose
with a beard.
Whose family lives right down the hill, by the way, from here on Plum Point. So, yes, we have been live from Plum Point with Phoebe Legere. She will be appearing along with Robin Lane and with Andy Pratt tomorrow at the Belforge Art Center in Medfield, Massachusetts. A memorial concert, in part, a memorial concert for Justine Cavalt. Le lever du soleil est très bon ce matin. That's from my...
Tu parles très bien, monsieur.
I did a brief radio at CKGM-FM in Montreal, but not very long. Anyway, Phoebe, thank you so much.
Thank you,
one more time on your website for your organization.
Yes, www.foundationfornewamericanaart.org. And the donation button is right on the upper right side, bringing free art and music to the children of low-income communities.
It's a beautiful cause, and we thank you so much. Multi-genre artist, performance artist, community activist, teacher. You got a long resume there, Phoebe. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait, Sam, I forgot to say one thing.
What's that?
I love you.
Oh, I love... Je t'aime. Je t'aime. We're going to go out now. That's the second in the Sam's Jams Live from the Living Room series. Thank you, Phoebe Legere. And we'll be with you on Sam's Jams for about another 25 minutes until Drew comes in for his 2-hour final show on WRIU. Here's new music from M. Ward. As I said again, here's new music from M. Ward.